Good morning, and welcome all those who are joining here and in person and on Facebook, YouTube. It's good to be here. I missed last week, and this past week I had a very painful infection, UTI, and I'm very thankful for antibiotics. It makes a big, big difference. We were talking about in our prayer group the fact that the difference between, as I've noted previously, facts and truth. The facts are I had this infection, and it needed to be treated with other facts. But the truth is there was never an infection, if you will, that could take away in any way or diminish in any way the truth that is who we are. It's our identity. And so my wholeness and well-being was intact. And I had a marvelous sense throughout it all that that here at this level I was having some pain and discomfort and lethargy and all kinds of problems at this level. And I was really aware of that. At this level there wasn't anything. And it was a phenomenal kind of awareness at the midst of something very painful and very difficult, that there was a truth that could not be disrupted in any way whatsoever. And sometimes it takes the worst to bring out the awareness of the best, the truth, if you will. I think that's just part of the human predicament. So I'm here to testify that that truth was very much present, even though I was in misery at times. But right now I'm feeling good, so it's good to be back. With that in mind, let's move ahead. And let's state our vision together. A world powerfully transformed through shared spiritual awakening. And our mission together, advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. And our values together, abundance, acceptance, community, diversity, integrity, joy, and love. And we celebrate our children with this affirmation together. Unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolding spirituality. And from the Daily Word today, the reading is prosperity. Practicing gratitude deepens my experience of prosperity. My life may be full of blessings. My family and friends, my home, my memories and experiences. But it can be easy to take it for granted if I focus more on what I'm missing rather than what I have. Being thankful, expressing my gratitude for my good, opens my heart, but also opens my eyes to the many ways I am prosperous. I count my blessings, pausing to give thanks for each one. The more often I do this, the more feelings of gratitude will fill my heart, crowding out constricting feelings of scarcity, fear, or envy. From the serenity I feel in my heart to the peace that calms my mind, I am prosperous. As I greet each day with a prayer of thanks, my blessings abound. And from the Psalm, they feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. Together, let's say what at the top. Practicing gratitude deepens my experience of prosperity.
Squeezes you with all of its might, thinking you may give up the fight. So, as usual, there's a smaller pause this time. Oh, that's right, I'm supposed to introduce the speaker. I just got to get used to that. Anyway, just like last time, hey, it's Sandra, Reverend Sandra, who we know and love. So, welcome, Reverend Sandra.
Thank you, Paige. Welcome. Good morning. I want to follow up a little bit about what you shared when we do have some kind of illness or pain, because we'll all have that. I always go to Myrtle Fillmore and think about how she went into prayer. I've heard it's over 2 years, period, when she was diagnosed with tuberculosis and said she had 6 months to live. She went into prayer and meditation and asking every cell in her body for forgiveness, for believing that she was anything less than perfect. And I find that always works to keep the ill time. It didn't sound like yours lasted very long, right? And sometimes the antibiotics help too. Last Sunday at Unity in Eau Claire, we did an animal blessing service. Have you all done one of those here? Oh. Long time ago? I always say the four-leggeds are much better behaved than the two-leggeds. We had, I think, 10 dogs and 1 cat. And they just, we position the chairs so they have their space, and they're just always so good. And it's just such a blessing to me to be able to do that for them and how they respond. I'll lay my hands on their head and say, we wish for you a full tummy, a warm bed, and someone to love you. And they just I can see their response. It's quite incredible. So you might want to think, October 4th is St. Francis of Assisi's Day, and that's who's connected to that tradition of blessing the animals. But today we're going to talk about prosperity. Who knows what that plant is? Nobody? Money tree? It's a money tree. Because I think when we hear the word prosperity, many of us right away think about money. And of course, that's not how the Fillmores, this is Charles Fillmore's book on prosperity. That's certainly not his take on the word, so we're going to hear more about that today. On the front page of this book, it has his picture and this writing, which he wrote. When we think about the love of God drawing to us this substance that's necessary for support and supply, that substance begins to accumulate all around us. And as we abide in that consciousness of it, it begins to manifest itself in all our affairs. Now, it doesn't say anything about money. Think and Grow Rich. Anybody ever heard of that book? Still very popular today. I remember being read by my father in the 1950s, so it goes way back. And how many have seen the movie Secret? Probably more than once. I know we showed it at Unity in Eau Claire. So we've had these prosperity lessons for a long, long time. So why aren't we all abundantly rich? Maybe we all are. Think about that, what that means. So what is prosperity? Myrtle said in the early days, when someone said, we need more money, Myrtle said, no, we need more faith. And I always hold on to that one. Because, it's not about money. I know I've had times in my life when I've had money, and I've had times in my life when I didn't have money. And it's better with money. It's easier. But the word prosperous first showed up in 1445. That's a time when the Aztec and the Inca empires were flourishing in South America. And prosperous meant tending to bring success, flourishing good fortune. Didn't say anything about money. And for internet buffs, you may know this story. I think it's about 15 years ago. There were two guys who started a company in an apartment that was above a pizza shop. And that company never made any money. But it was bought from them for $1.65 billion. That's a lot of money. Anyone know what that was called or who bought it? Why would they pay that much if it hadn't made money? It was called YouTube. And it's simply, I'm sure we all know YouTube these days, it's simply a website where you can view videos that people have uploaded to the internet. I think now it's used in so many more ways. And it today has the largest library of videos available on the net. Some of them are silly, intentionally so. Some are educational. Some of us got through the pandemic with YouTube. Well, when my grandson was 17, that's why I'm thinking, okay, this was about 15 years ago because he's now 32. He showed me one that he and his friends had made, and it was called Extreme Ironing. It was a takeoff on extreme sports. And so I went into YouTube this week and looked for it. There are thousands and thousands of extreme ironing YouTube videos. So over 15 years, it became very popular. Well, that short film approached ironing as though it was an extreme competitive sport. It was really quite funny. So if YouTube hadn't made any money, why would Google, as who bought it, why would they pay $1.65 billion? It was simple. They were buying a community. Whenever you have millions of young people connecting through the web at one site, you have a potential of a gold mine. So we here, you are a community. We're a collective group. And as a group, our spiritual growth can prosper. We can do that together. You know, I found material by Annie Ricks Millich. I think that's how we say it. She was a key figure in the early days of the Unity movement. Annie was a student of Emma Curtis Hopkins, and that's the person who taught all the New Thought leaders, including the Fillmores. Annie writes in 1890, worldly riches have been feared, despised, condemned, even hated by spiritual aspirants because of ignorance of how to be in them and yet not of them. How to be in them and not of them. I think that's really important. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money. You know, a rich state of being is like the promised land that belonged to the Israelites when they began their march under Moses out of Egypt. And from the Bible, in Numbers 13, it says, a land flowing with milk and honey. This innocent land was sweet, pure, and goodly. And so are worldly riches and personal good, useful, commanding world's respect. So the first step in this prosperous attainment is to really have the right attitude of mind and heart toward worldly wealth. To see that prosperity and spirituality really should be wedded here on earth. So our A then in the ABCs of prosperity is attitude. You know, a telemarketer one day, I think I shared last time I was here that I have done that work. So he was attempting to interest me in a product he was selling. I talked to them because of having done that work. I know how difficult it is. And we had a nice dialogue going, and when he asked my profession, I said I was a minister. To which he replied, "Oh, you've taken the vow of poverty." To which I replied, "Oh, you must be Catholic." It's a true story. So if life, health, and strength are of God, then prosperity is of God. Prosperity is the presence of God. Poet Walt Whitman said, "I seek not fortune, I myself am good fortune. But you must find it first in your current circumstances." So know that despite appearances of any circumstances, that right now, every situation that's going on in your life is good. There's a song we sang a lot over in Eau Claire, "You are power, peace, possibility, and prosperity." Do you sing that here? I think that was written by our music director. You are power, peace, possibility, and prosperity. So we move to the B in our ABCs, and the B is belief. In The Secret, in the movie, it says, "Ask and believe." Believe in the possibility. Spirituality prospers us. You know, you're all here today by divine appointment. Have you ever heard that? I was working at Silent Unity that a woman shared that with me for the first time. You're here by divine appointment. Just think of what that means. There's no accidents, no mistakes. You're here for a reason. So how does that work? You know, spirituality gives us insight into human character, so we really know who we want to associate with. Spirituality inspires confidence within us. It invites the confidence of others in us. Spirituality increases our feelings in the interest of the welfare for others, even strangers. Spirituality gives us a clear head, sober judgment, common sense, poise, and trust in the future. So good fortune's not a thing of chance, it's not karma, it's not luck, but it's a law. It's a spiritual law. And the law states that we must acknowledge the source. So your wildest dreams come true, especially when you stick close to the original source. That means keeping it simple, and you'll find the absolute essence of success. You know, cultivate an intimate communion with the divine. We do that through prayer and meditation. Seek ye first the kingdom. Meditate daily upon that pure being of God. God is prosperity. God is life, and prosperity is life. So seek prosperity, not only just for yourself and family, but for your neighbors and your country and the world. And God is the secret of all mental power, peace, prosperity. And by visualizing and by affirmations, we can strengthen our subconscious mind, which may in turn encourage our conscious mind. And the conscious mind still has to achieve the success and is hindered by the law of cause and effect. And when the human mind can contact God, then the superconscious mind can be sure to be of success due to that unlimited power of God. Now, I found 2 full pages of scripture showing evidence in the Bible that God's will for us is prosperity. We just need to change what prosperity means. Scientific research has shown that it takes 40 days for consciousness to realize truth at a conscious level. Interesting, you're going to celebrate 40 years together here, right? Next month. A break during that 40 days releases the energy that was around the idea. So even if one day is missed, it's important to start over so that you have 40 continuous days. of giving thanks. And writing maybe in a journal every day. I think Bedford does that, right? Writing in a journal and then meditating on that idea. The Spirit of the living God within me is not only giver of all good gifts, the supplier of all supply, but is the gift and supply itself. God is the fulfillment, which fills full my every desire. God, ever dwelling within me, is ready and willing at every moment to recreate or renew my body and mind, and to manifest through me as anything I need. I picked up a book one day. I'm always kind of intrigued with what books I buy and why. And this was the mother to the musician Jewel. You know who that is? And the mother had written a book. And there was just one phrase in this book that just really grabbed me. And she was in a session dealing with prosperity, not having enough, not being able to pay the rent. And the moderator, the facilitator, kept saying, you have everything you need in this moment. Everything you need in this moment, you have. And she says, well, but I won't be able to pay the rent next month. You have everything you need in this moment. She didn't need to pay the rent that moment. So if we can really get there with our way of how we think about money and prosperity, we have everything we need in this moment. It just really resonated with me because we're kind of always out there living in the future. So today I begin to truly understand that money is not my supply. No person, place, or thing is my supply. My consciousness of the presence and power of God and what that can do through me, through my consciousness, what I think, what I feel, and what I believe. Through that faith, through that vision of greater good. I have so many personal experiences, some I may have shared, some not. But the one that's so vivid in my memory is at the time I released everything I owned. When I was 57 years old. Literally. Only kept what would fit in my car. And lived in my car for a year to start a business to take care of animals. I never literally stayed in my car overnight. I was always at somebody's home. And it was like God was in charge of the schedule. Okay, now you're going to go here. Now you're going to go here. It just amazed me. And then when I didn't have a booking, I would go down to Unity Village and take classes. Something stronger than me was guiding me in this journey. And I was really impacted by Peace Pilgrim. If you don't know about her, I encourage you to read about her. She gave up everything, including her name, to walk for world peace. And I'd go to her book if anytime fear would come up. So having lived this, what I talk about, I just know the possibilities that is there for everyone. Henry David Thoreau wrote, "As a single footstep will not make a path on the earth, so a single thought will not make a pathway in the mind. To make a deep physical path, we walk again and again. To make a deep mental path, we must think over and over the kind of thoughts that we want to dominate our lives." So B, belief. And the C in our ABCs is consciousness. In my time in Unity, which is now 48 years, I've had many classes, many groups focused on prosperity. My first was the 4 T's. Anyone remember that one? That's tithing, time, talent, and treasure. It was created by a Unity minister based on the 12 steps of AA. I found that one personally the most powerful. Unity minister Mary Morrissey Anybody taken her classes? She's now into the 3rd revision of the teaching she does around prosperity. I've taken all 3, I've taught all 3. I think that doing those things, I mean, we can't just do something once and say, okay, I did that, got it, done. I think it's a continual growing process. In Fillmore's book on prosperity, I found this really helpful after doing a class on this book. And especially as we look at our conscious beliefs around money and prosperity. Take a notebook. Now, this could be your homework for the week. Get a notebook. At the top of the page, write, money is. Then make 2 columns. On one side, put mother, and on the other side, put father. How would they respond to money is? In my case, my father was a very successful entrepreneur who started several businesses, probably in my genes somewhere. And he would have very positive things to say about prosperity. My mother, to money is, came from a very poor family, raised in the Depression, had a lot of fear and lack thoughts around prosperity, even though they had a lot. When he died 20 years into their marriage, they owned 9 homes that they had turned into rental property. She bought a refrigerator from 1935 because it was cheap. She did not have a prosperity consciousness. So I'd encourage you to try that exercise. Because I believe we hold in our consciousness those beliefs from those previous generations. And especially if anyone, grew up during the Great Depression, which would have been my mother. So even grandparents, I think, can influence how we think and believe. So it's really important to know what's at a subconscious level in our belief systems, and probably where the most work needs to be done. I visited Thoreau's Walden Pond this summer in August, something I'd always wanted to do. And I was in the area because I was taking care of a dog. I've done that work in 9 states now, all word of mouth. Just amazes me. Thoreau wrote this about prosperity and from living a simple life. He wrote a lot about that. And I wanted to read something that Fillmore wrote, too, about the simple life. So this is from Fillmore. There's a great difference between the simple life and poverty. The 2 have been associated in the minds of some people. And this is the reason they shun the idea of a simple life. The simple life does not imply poverty. It's not ascetic. It's as different from the austere as it is from wanton luxury. It's a natural, free, childlike mode of living. True prosperity is until one comes into this simplicity and independence of spirit. A simple life. I know once I simplified my life, it's been so much easier. So attitudes, beliefs, consciousness. I've asked myself recently, do the learning, the teachings, the knowing, does it come with age? As I become an aged. I don't know. But I can sure look back in previous years and see how the involvement around lack and fear and has evolved over the years, and I give it all to my unity teachings. So the really knowing in every cell of your being, it just comes from doing the work. Showing up for classes, study groups, coming together as community which I know you do here well. You had a book study earlier, right? Those small study groups is how the Fillmores said we grow spiritually. And I really applaud that you do so many events, readings, your prayer and meditation work. It works if you work it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. I now invite you to begin to prepare yourself for reflective personal prayer and guided musical meditation, after which I ask that you remain in essential silence during the music. If you choose to, you can close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body as it relaxes into your chair and you let go of today's anxieties. Feel your feet on the solid earth as you let go of tomorrow's worries. Become aware of your breathing as you breathe in life and breathe out love. Breathe in life and breathe out love. As you become centered, focus your attention on your beautiful heart, your beautiful Christ self. Become filled with gratitude and allow into yourself that which fills you with peace and love. So we begin. gently return to this place. Open your eyes in the spirit of peace and gratitude.
So, with that depth of awareness within us, we now come to another part, and certainly built upon Sandra's message. We are going to practice in a very practical sort of way our prosperity. So now we move from meditation to our affirmation of prosperity. This is the time when those of us who think of Unity of Appleton as our spiritual home practice putting spirit first in our financial life. When we do this, it prospers the spiritual community we love and supports our own spiritual growth and prosperity. Please connect with the guidance of Spirit in you and give whatever amount Spirit guides you to give. Whatever that amount is, take it in your hand and bless it with your love. If you're one of the many of us who give electronically, take the gift into your heart. Feel free to bless the plate as it passes by. Let yourself feel grateful to God in you as your one source. Then please join in our affirmation of prosperity together. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of Spirit in the flow of divine abundance and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And together we celebrate giving and receiving with the affirmation. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love, and I trust God as my source. Let us receive these tangible gifts of our prosperity, the prosperity that knows that comes from Spirit's presence within us always. And we share that prosperity in all kinds of ways as we go forth with the recognition that we are Spirit in human form. Amen. Announcements. The study, book study, The Dream, the Journey, Eternity, and God by Sarah Landon and Mike Dooley is Mondays at 6, and it's moving. Louise isn't here, and Julia, I don't believe, is here either, but it's moving. So as of tomorrow, do you know, Linda?
Louise is downstairs, so right after service she can tell you the address.
Good, yes. Do corral her, as Cindy and I are going to do right afterwards. So let's go on. Need help? Want to help? We now have a Unity Care team. Its mission is to offer compassionate support to our congregants. Activities are elder care outreach, support during illness and transitions. Forms to request assistance and a blue container for requests are on the table by the prayer request box. If there are any questions, please contact Karen Sophie at ksophie@msn.com or call her at that number. And the form is in the back. Karen wanted me to remind you. Yeah.
On the back counter too.
There, thank you. The last meeting for the Mastery of Love is today after the service. A new book starts October 15th. Do we have that?
Living Untethered, yeah. It's
Yeah.
the 2020.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Living Untethered, which is the sequel
Yeah.
to the,
Untethered.
right. Going back for a moment, if we may, to the care community, care committee, just want to make a distinction between that and the prayer group, because there is a bit of an overlap, and that's fine. We can't have too much compassion, care. But there is that in the form of prayer, which is offered following the service, as well as any time during the week, for whatever purposes. And the compassion is a little more on a physical realm, if you will, something to do on behalf of other people who have a need. So in a way, compassion is prayer in action, just to make a distinction. Okay, moving on. No book study next Sunday, no problem. We are having something for you to do. It's called a Unity Town Hall Gathering. Sunday, October 8th, right here, right after the service. Please bring finger food to share with your own beverage. We will discuss accomplishments, financial updates, and future plans. If you can't make it to church next Sunday, look for the Zoom link in tomorrow's Community Connections. Okay, moving on.
Okay, I messed up then, so the prayer protection should be there first. I
Oh.
don't know. Okay,
Is prayer protection on? Yeah, okay, there it is. So let us stand and join together in the prayer of protection.
See if you're awake.
That's right.
The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us,
The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Even when you mess up.
There's no mess up.
Yeah. All right, we're good. We're good.
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
found a way to be a better person. We've come together like we should. We could all be good.